Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Zero Override and this is going to be my second video about my improving my StarCraft 2 gameplay. Now as you can see, I've spawned here in the top left. I'm the blue Protoss and my opponent down here in the bottom left is going to be red Protoss. Now as I said in my last video, I've been trying to improve my Protoss gameplay through learning the 4-gate build, which is a pretty standard build order for Protoss. And having sort of like read up on it on the net and things like that, I found a build order that I'm going to be trying out, I've been trying out. And I believe it was originally made by the great player MC, so I do apologise for probably murdering his build order at many points in this entire video. Now both me and my opponent going here for a pretty standard opening, both throwing down the pylon on 9, then chrono boosting out some probes, and that's pretty normal as Protoss goes. I will be getting a gateway now on 12, and then I expect my simulator soon after. I should be hopefully chrono boosting out some more probes at this point. With this build, the first couple of chrono boosts do go to building probes to just give the economy a little bit of a kickstart. There's my simulator going down. My opponent here, pretty similar. Gateway there and a simulator going down as well. So we both seem to be pretty similar on that. If we look at the army supply, then worker ahead. They're throwing down the second assimilator there, whereas I've got my second pylon coming down there, and my cybernetics core should be not far behind. There we go. Now my opponent is scouting out, trying to find where I am, and while throwing down their cybernetics core as well. So both things pretty normal there. I've got my zealot out somewhere by the looks of it. Somewhere he's hiding. There's a probe coming in to scout me, and I think oh, there we go, I'm still building the zealot, that's why. The zealot should pop out and we'll start chasing the probe around while I start doing warp gate research and chrono boosting that, along with hopefully chrono boosting out this stalker. Now as you see, there are a few things where I could save a few seconds off here and there. I'm only Silver League player, so we're not expecting amazing performance by me. And my opponent doing the same thing, chrono boosting up there, so their warp gate research. Now my zealot still must be getting tired by now chasing that probe around. He'll have a stalker pop out and help him in a minute, so that should pretty much spell the end of that probe. They see my gateways going down though. My 4 gateways going down there. And my warp gate research about half finished. Hopefully there's going to be another chrono boost coming on that soon. Now there's me throwing down a pylon. I've scouted out some of the areas so I know vaguely where they are due to the process of elimination that I know then have to be in this corner. I've seen those. So the 4 gateways are being built there. I'm saving up a few resources for the initial warp in of those stalkers. And there we go, research is almost done. Another pylon going down there to make sure I don't get supply blocked, which is something I'm particularly good at. And there we go, the warp gate research finished. Another random stalker being built there. I'm not sure why I built that, but I guess you can't have too few units. There we go. Stalkers being warped in now. And we're ready to push forward, push into their base. As you see, they've just got the stalker and the zealot, so it looks like they're going for a pretty similar build. They've got their Templar archives down there, so they're going for a blink stalker build. There we go, my units coming there, my probe nobly charging to the forward and exploding. So there we go, warping in a stalker that's going to quickly be killed off. And here I start sniping their pylons. Killing them off, trying to shut down their production. if they haven't got any production, they're definitely going to be dead in the water pretty much. So they've got 3 stalkers there, and they realise that they're going to have to do something or their last pylon will go down. So the stalkers come in, but my army's big enough there to clean that up. And a few more stalkers come wandering in there. Now this is a second game where I'm trying this 4-gate build. This is on Scrap Station, and as you see I've spawned here on the right hand side as the red Protoss, my opponent over here as the blue Terran. Now originally this 4-gate build I believe was designed for Protoss against Protoss matches, not against Terran. So we're going to see how the build goes here. I've been trying to just get practice this build, so I thought I'd just go for it this time as well and see what happens. There we go, throwing the pylon down. My opponent should be doing their supply depot as well at the same time. Now just building up the probes, getting ready to chrono boost them when that pylon is finished hopefully. Yep, there we go. And a pretty standard opening from both sides so far. Just building up our SCVs or probe count and getting supply depots. There we go, my gateway should be coming down quite soon on 12, there we go. And there we go, I'm storing up a few minerals there. Oh no, that's my opponent, sorry. I'm not storing up some minerals. Which is quite unusual for me, admittedly. Right, now my opponent getting their refinery and a barracks going down. And there's my assimilator getting ready. And gateway mostly done. Probe should be throwing down a pylon, I expect. Yep, there we go. And just making probes, and my assimilator is down, remembering to actually put probes in it. This is one of the flaws I tend to actually do at the moment. I build my assimilator merrily and then forget to put probes in it for about 30 seconds. So does not help things. There we go, the cybernetic score, that's the words going down there. And my opponent going for a factory, so it looks like they're going possibly for a 1-1-1 build. Something like that. My scout hasn't gone out yet, but I've found with this build that if there's 2 positions, I don't tend to scout all that early. I know where my opponent is and I want to be attacking them early anyway, so I haven't sent out a scout yet. There we go, my cybernetic score going down again and the zealot popping out. Should be going for that warp tank tech and that stalker. Yep. My opponent's factory is nearly ready, and a single marine standing guard over their entire base. Ah, there we go, second marine has joined him. And there's a zealot standing there, and there we go, a couple more gateways going down, and probably a 4th one. Yep. And the zealot and the stalker, and that probe will be going off for a little scout after. Oh no, I'm just sending it to build a pylon. I would expect it to see that them going out to scout them sooner than that, I would have hoped. But I am still just learning this build, so we're not expecting amazing play at the moment. There we go, a couple of chrono boosts on that research. And there we go, my zealot and stalker going out to scout. I'll go and just attack the Selnaga watchtower to see what's going on around there and see if my opponent sent out any form of early attack. Right, my opponent there, and siege tech on its way as well, so that's not going to go well. I need to get this attack in very quickly at this point. Okay, the probe going down and my research nearly finished there. Here we go, and hopefully the warp in will come in quite quickly now. After the gates all change, yep, there we go, and we go, the stalker's being warped in, and we're going to push into their base. Now currently they have a 1 siege tank of a marauder. Now that siege tank is unfortunately not sieged up at the moment. It does not quite manage to siege up quick enough, so I take it down, otherwise that could have been very unpleasant. we go, killing off the tech labs. And killing the barracks. Should have warped in a few more stalkers there, yep. Getting barracks, except for that one stalker that decided apparently it disliked that supply depot. Dislike that supply depot, is it? And the SCV's being pulled off the line to try and help defend. And here we have the third game I'm going to show you, and final game I'm going to show you for this videos of my 4-gate gameplay. As you can see, I've spawned up here in the top left as the blue Protoss, and my opponent shall be down here in the bottom right as the red Terran. Now he goes for a very early scout there, and I begin to sort of work on my build as normal, building up my probes as his scout wanders his way across the map. Now, as I said before, this build is really designed to be used against Protoss and not so much against Terran. So there we go, his SCV manages to see my probe going off on its little merry way. And his SCV comes in there, has a look around, as I chrono boost out a few probes, which is pretty standard after that pylon goes down. And then he goes over here and begins building a proxy barracks, which is not very nice. But as I'm going for a 4-gate build, I can't really complain about being cheesed too badly. You will have noticed that in the previous games my opponents tend not to GG afterwards, which is, I guess, understandable after they get attacked by a very early 4-gate. I do sometimes feel sort of quite bad about actually using it, but it's a valid strategy and it gets me a win, so can't complain about that. Now there we go, his barracks being built there, while I'm building my gateway, none the wiser at all. I guess my probe coming in here and not seeing any form of barracks or anything of that nature being built probably should have given me a bit of a clue that something iffy was going up. So there we go, there's a barracks and a tech lab there. And I'm building up there, a couple of pylons down. And probably my zealot should be coming along quite soon, cybernetics core going down there. And zealot should be normally quite quickly after that. There we go. It's barracks with a tech lab right next to me there. So I think you can probably all see the way this is going to go. It's obviously being a flaw with going for the 4-gate like this. Well, it's a build that's not designed to be used against Terran. And then if they go for some attack like this, then you don't really have the units to defend it unless you have some very good micro skills, which unfortunately I don't. We go, one marauder and a second marauder I believe comes out. My zealot goes to nobly stand at the front to try and protect things, but I don't think it's going to do me much good. Chrono boosting out the warp gate tech there, and my gateway should be popping down now. And there we go, a couple of marauders and an SCV coming in to generally make a mess of my base. Now there we go, I managed to kill one of them, but unfortunately I just do not have any units. My production has all gone into making these 4 gateways, not getting out some extra ones, so he comes in to try and snipe off these pylons. There we go, the stalker comes out, tries to kill them off, but stalkers against marauders does not go particularly well for those stalkers. There we go, marauders doing 20 damage against armoured, which unfortunately stalkers do count as. And there we go, that pylon will be going down and all the gateways will be unpowered, and that is pretty much it for me there. So there we see there that this build does have problems against early aggression unless you have much better micro skills than I do. And the probe's nobly trying to go in to make one last ditch attempt, but it's not going to be good enough. And the game is going to end at that point. So thank you everyone for watching. I've been Zero Override,